Qualifying procedures. Look, you can go over that real quick. I do want to hit on the electric car deal. So tell us real quick about the qualifying procedures, because I know, like you, I'm all up in the air about this. This is confusing as mess. It's confusing ass mess. This is a mess. It needs toilet paper. Let's just try to get it out here and figure out how the hell we're going to line these cars up.
So from what I understanding, it's basically taking what they did last year but kind of modifying it. Last year they brought in this whole they split a whole 36 car field, or 38, however many cars they have for that weekend's race. They split them into two groups, and then the top 5 qualifiers from each group moved on to what they called the final round of qualifying to set up the starting grid for the top 10 drivers, while the other drivers that did not make the top 5, basically if you qualified 6th or worse in your group, you were placed 11th through 40th based upon your best qualifying time. That's basically what they're doing here again, but this time around, what they're going to do with positions 11 through 40 is going to be different. Basically, what they're doing is previously the cars finished outside the top 5 in the two groups for C11 through 40 based on their fastest qualifying lap, regardless of which group the drivers were in. Beginning this year, with the exception of the Daytona 500, because it has its own unique qualifying procedure, cars that do not advance from Group A will determine the outside row for starting positions 11 through 40, while the remaining cars from Group B will determine the inside row. For super speedways, there will be no groups during qualifying procedures. There will be 2 rounds, with the fastest 10 drivers advancing from the first round and the best time from round 2 taking the pole. So basically,
okay. That sounds so much better coming from you. I've heard it explained 15 different ways, Taz. Coming from you makes perfect sense. So if you're in Group A, you're going to qualify on the inside row, 10th from 11th on back. But if you're in Group B, you're going to be on the outside row. That's the even numbers. That'll be 12th on back. So you're not just because you got a faster time.
The group assignments of which driver will be qualifying in what group is based upon their metric system, which is basically fastest lap time position, driver's final race finish position, owner's final race finish position, that whole metric system that they've pulled up before when there's rain out for qualifying, the COVID qualifying procedure type deal.
Yeah.
But that's how they'll determine it. So my guess is they're going to take the top 18 cars from that metric system, and they're going to be in Group A, and then the next 18 or however many will go into Group B, and except for super speedways. Super speedways, you're throwing the groups out. All 40, or 36, I should say, qualify minus Daytona 500, and then the top 10 will go for a second round of qualifying, and they'll determine the lineup from there.
So let me figure this out real quick. If I'm 11th on the speed chart and I'm 201 miles an hour, 201.22 miles an hour, right? But I'm in Group A, right? And I'm 11th quickest. So the Group B comes out. He's 201.23. I'm still going to be starting in the 11th position because I come out in Group A versus Group B.
So basically, this is how it works. So your top 18 cars, so say 18 cars in Group A. If you are not first, second, third, fourth, or fifth in Group A, you are lining up on the outside row, which means if you're the 6th quickest in Group A, you're starting in 12th, regardless of anything.
Okay.
The 6th quickest in Group B will start 11th.
That's what I wanted to hear.